Hello and welcome to Setons. This is the greatest real-time strategy game that we have today, Supreme Commander Forged Alliance, and I really wish people would spread that message, at least those people who believe that, and if you don't, then I'm sorry, but if you do, people should really share this game with others so the community can grow. We got here a game with Napalm. He's got a YouTube channel. Jack Sparrow made some great highlights for the Imba Cup. Still hasn't made one for the final though, so looking forward to that. He's been playing back Zayan, he's taking on Gularsh, who's playing EAF, and both these teams got pretty good players. Got definitely Mr. White here, perhaps the best player in this game, playing Rock, but playing Seraphim, and with Mr. White on Rock, don't expect him to lose against anybody. Only a few players can take him, and Lord Z is gonna have that honor. Let's see how well he does. Of course, in the middle we got Rimac and Eisenherz. We got EAF versus Seraphim here. It'll be interesting. And on top, Motorfire, Cybern versus EAF, DNF, Steve Lord. Actually, I've not seen Steve Lord before. Definitely, I've seen Motorfire, Motorradfahrer, some German. I'll call him Fahrer, or it's the Cybern, the yellow Cybern. It's really nice to see Cybern players. So here coming up 220. Romux is bringing an Engie with him, picking up a little bit of the early mass. Also bringing a tank plus a Selene. And I gotta say, the Seraphim, I used to like light assault bots to the middle, but I actually think the Selene tank combination is by far the strongest. The Selene makes this tank the strongest if you don't lead with it. Of course, if you throw it away like that, it's not good. If you keep the Selene behind as a radar, you lead with a tank, and then let the Selene. Oh yeah, there goes an engineer there for Ramak. Unfortunate, could have probably taken care of this with his tanks first, and then saved his engineers. But the engineer for Eisenherz is also going to die. We see here Mr. White is going to take his island. Napalm scouting here pretty aggressively, coming up minute 4. Still nobody going to this island between Farrer and Stephen Lord. Stephen actually going extremely, or Steve Lord, going extremely aggressive with the Navy, going out with a whole bunch of subs, some engineers, 3 Tech 1 naval factories very early, and also getting drop, so perhaps challenging for the island. In the middle, most of the mass is already gone. Looking at Eisenherz, he's got 6,000, still bleeding off a little bit, and Ramak at 7,000. It's actually extremely even between these two players. But these tanks, these looks like the original tanks. 7 kill among these can probably keep on killing. If you got this engineer and that Hydra, would be very nice. Interesting to see this rock still not extracted, not reclaimed. We've seen here a Napalm taking care of that pretty quick. And a drop, actually, I missed this, a drop from Mr. White. He loves his drops, and this can be a big problem for Lord Z. Looks like he's making some artillery. It's definitely the best course of action. A lot of build capacity on this. Artillery and interceptors. Looks like Lord Z has lost his air, which is not good. Does have some scouting, but... And here comes a bomber. This is going to definitely help. And it appears that Lord Z will be able to take this back without too much trouble. Although he did lose quite a bit of his eco making all that artillery. He's got to put that to good use, put it on a transport, and then counter drop. In the middle we got a build up of units. Eisenherz getting an upgrade. Looks like the gun. That's nice to see. Ramak as well. Looks like both players getting the gun. Let's see a nice battle. Here comes another drop from Mr. White. It's another engineer drop. And an engineer drop close to the ACU is dangerous to do if the ACU just overcharges. Will he overcharge? It looks like he does not have power storage or something, but you can see you never want to drop engineers to the ACU. It's basically a whole bunch of mass. Each one of these 50 mass, so 350 mass delivered specifically for Lord Z. It's like payback for Mr. White for destroying these mass extractors. In the middle we got the battle raging on. Actually, it looks like Eisenherz got the Tech 2, so yeah, he got Tech 2. I confused that. But definitely the gun for Ramak. So gun versus Tech 2 in the middle. probably will be a standoff. So Eisenherz going for defensive structure, which is makes sense with UEF. Eventually going Tech 3 with Tech 3 PD. And this is inexcusable to have these great units actually now picked up yet another kill. Sitting there not gaining any kills, not being aggressive. That's unfortunate. A whole bunch of bombers coming in now from Motor. We haven't actually looked at this battle too much. Looks like a little bit of stuff happened, but the yellow Siren should hold on. He's also getting some Tech 2 Navy here with Siren. Just building up build capacity with the naval factories. This very early Navy, not very aggressive, and strange placement for a shield for Steve Lord. Very defensive, spending a lot of eco on that. Perhaps worried about his power. See, Romag has retreated, getting some Tech 2. And now Lord Z got his naval factory. This looks like he's got a lot of build capacity as well. And submarine spam from Mr. White. Looks like they were going to the middle. And a drop coming in. This is a single Tech 3 unit, doesn't even make it. Looks like an Ilsheva from Lord Z. And if Lord Z has Tech 2 land, that's very nice for him. Perhaps instead of Ilshevas, if he would make a bunch of Tech 2 flag together with his Navy. And we got drops going both directions. But these are Tech 2, and these are going to be pretty massive. And this is kind of napalm, probably should have picked those up. And a couple Tech 2 flag here for Lord Z would have really helped. And these are once again massive engineer drops. He's going to surround this Tech 2 factory. And this is what happens when you face Mr. White. We do see artillery here, the proper counter. That was a nice bomber from Lord Z as well. But actually, it could have been much worse, I must say, with all this artillery in the area. Good damage control. Looks like this a drop from Lord Z. A whole bunch of floating arty trying to take out the factory. This would be great. It looks like he will be able to do it. That was very nice from Lord Z. He'll buy himself a lot of time. That looks like some Tech 2 Navy was coming out. And I gotta say that this is a very nice play from these two players. 3 Tech 1 subs. These should just be reclaimed. People should, whenever you got engineers and Tech 1 subs underneath them, don't try to make Tech 1 torpedo launchers. Just reclaim them really quick. It won't be a big deal at all. Gunships now coming out from napalm. And some more drops coming in. Looks like Lord Z will continue to drop the water, try to stop this production, which is the proper way to use the Seraphim early on. Some Cyber Navy coming into the middle. Submarine plus a destroyer putting pressure on Eisenherz, who is having power problems. Worst possible time to have power problems, but the wrong target. Instead of those Tech 2 point defenses, those shields should have just been sniped. Can still do it, no reason to shoot the ACU. But now the Navy from Steve Lord is coming in. He's going to run into a Tech 2 submarine. But it looks like numbers, and Motor in the water here with a Tech 3 Cybern ACU getting a Tech 3 torpedo launcher. This will be extremely secure for him. Looks like destroyers, big destroyer spam now from Mr. White. In terms of air, a lot of torpedo bombers that have just been given over to Lord Z from napalm. Napalm definitely has the best economy. A nice air spam, getting Tech 3 power. And his ACU's got the double RAS. It'd be nice to see that ACU hide somewhere. Some more drops now coming in from Eisenherz. Tech 1 drops should be picked off. See ASF from napalm. Looks like he's not seen it. Some ASF from Gularsh, but big numbers for napalm. And this is unfortunate. 2 successful drops. Well, it's pretty fortunate for Eisenherz that they flew right by ASF, dropped off both. But Ilsheva here will make short work of that Tech 1 drop. A destroyer now coming in, plus a bunch of floating arty. Tech 3 Navy for Lord Z is trying to get a Tech 3 sub. And that destroyer should be taken out easily with some torpedoes, which Lord Z definitely has. Total air domination now by napalm. And in the middle, Eisenherz Tech 3 getting his Tech 3 PD. So Tech 3 PD creep is what you should expect. Of course, Seraphim have excellent shields, but still Tech 3 PD will win in the long run. Whole bunch of Tech 2 point defense and TMD, tactical missile defense. And now we got the Tech 3 ACU, plenty of TMD against the EF cruisers of his own, some Tech 2 subs. It's really the minimal for Motofar, thinking about a Spider. Now we got Tech 3 torpedo bombers from Napalm helping out his ally, but this cruiser is going to do damage. Of course, one pass from a Tech 3 torpedo bomber will take out a cruiser. And these are nice to see, the hover tanks, even though people don't like them, they're still a decent unit. They get a whole bunch of them, they'll get the job done. The Blazes and Riptides, of course, are considerably better than this. But of course, together with all that floating flak, if you would give Seraphim something like a Riptide, it'll be pretty ridiculous. And actually, amazing, these Seraphim cruisers. Yeah, that was very nice. See if Lord Z can make something of his situation. He needs to rebuild his build capacity. Definitely a good way to do it. And he's got a whole bunch of mastery claim as well. But of course now Ramak in the middle having to face these cruisers from Mr. White. And this is going to take a toll. Mr. White, instead of shooting those shields, can wipe out all that mass very quickly. We are now seeing a Spider has been finished by Motofar. He's got some shields, Tech 2 RD. And a chicken has been started, more TMD being built by Ramak. A whole bunch of Strat bombers. This is dangerous for the other side. Napalm playing with some real weapons here. We see flak coming out from Goulash. And of course, with that many Strat bombers, you can break through a shield and take somebody out. It'd be difficult to take Mr. White out sitting on a double RAS in the water. Although Tech 3 torpedoes, and this is not where you want to fly if you're Napalm. And here comes a Spider. I missed this part, but a lot of damage has been done against Eisenherz, although the Spider eventually dies. This is a good placement of Tech 1 point defense. Eisenherz retreats with the ACU. He's got to get some Tech 3 PD rebuilt quickly, and with all this Navy could probably do so very well. Tech 3 air now for Mr. White, but total air domination still by Napalm. We got to see what those Strat bombers are going to do. Here they are. There's even more of them now, and Mr. White, 3 Tech 2. Well, this is a Tech 2 flag. You never want to drop onto a Tech 2 flag. You see all this flag suffered major damage, but we saw a whole bunch of engineer drops from Mr. White. Now it's the triple Tech 2 floating RD drop, and he's going to assassinate successfully the Tech 3 naval factory. And there's only one representative for Navy for Lord Z, is a Tech 3 submarine, and it could actually survive. I wouldn't be surprised if this survives and kills everything over here, because it's mostly cruisers. Although no, my bad, these are actually destroyers. Where are the cruisers? Looks like the cruisers disappeared. Of course, these torpedo bombers are going to do very well. So plenty of mass for Lord Z. Here come battleships from Cybern. Motofar could be in a bit of trouble. And did that chicken ever get finished? It doesn't look like. And Eisenherz rebuilding, plus he's got a nice chunk of mass for himself. We got to see that all that Tech 1 point defense here that looks like the Spider neglected eventually did too much damage. You never want to neglect Tech 1 point defenses when you're attacking with an experimental. Of course, this battleship, not the best battleship in the game, but a lot of health, a lot of damage. I'd say this Harms is probably a little more mass effective in terms of defending this position. And yet another Spider nearly finished. Plus, these are getting ridiculous amounts of kills, these artillery. Definitely have the range and the splash. Probably most of the kills came from here. And you can see those now. Plus the battleship is probably going to knock things down. And now we got, here comes the chicken. Chicken and Spider rolling through the middle here, minute 27. And this is a bad situation with total air loss. And how did Mr. White lose all those mask extractors? Okay, so while I was watching these, looks like Mr. White got bombed really hard here. He still has his ACU rebuilding some PGens, getting a chicken. It looks like his mass production got hit pretty hard. Probably not the best target. It would be nice to take out all the build capacity, all the factories. Although it's a hard call. And the fatty has been completed by Eisenherz, taking on those two experimentals. And looks like Motorfar with that battleship still pretty much outgunned by that UEF Navy. The big problems in the middle. And you can see here, fatty, if it runs away, can be very effective. 76 kills on the chicken, 3 stars. Spider running in can sneak up. And Eisenherz needs to get out of here. He just built an Omni, and you should see a spider moving in his direction, so he's going to run into the water. Fatty's still keeping the other experimentals at range. And no help from air because air has been lost. More strat bombers now from Napalm, but they don't get to live too long. Now it looks like finally the fatty will be murdered. We're now seeing Steve Lord realizing that it's a really bad situation for him. Although the chicken dies, so there's only a spider here. So 3 overcharges would take care of that. But it doesn't look like Stephen Lord is going to put up a fight, which is unfortunate. You never want to give up when you got a spider coming at you. They're made of paper. You can kill them very easily, especially with a Stepan Navy. We can see all those cruisers missing, but of course a bad situation. There's been many great comebacks in Supreme Commander Forge Alliance. No reason to throw in the towel just because there's an experimental in your base, but Steve Lord has done that. We do see a chicken bot now coming in from Mr. White's base. We gotta say, this entire game Goulash has been dominated. And Eisenherz has also been killed as well by the spider. Looks like he also threw in the towel. So we now have Goulash and Mr. White definitely not out of this game. Never want to discount those two players. And in the middle we got still that battleship, now Megalith and another chicken. This is getting pretty nasty from the middle here, from the bottom side. See more Tech 3 submarines from Lord Z. Because Mr. White can take this Navy, put a lot of pressure on Ramak, and if they survive, you can look at the eco here, a lot of Tech 3 mass extractors from Goulash. Of course, this spider now rolling in, 162 kills. Why didn't Mr. White send everybody dying here? Looks like both these players decided to give up. So they didn't hear my preaching about not giving up. They could have taken care of that spider easily with this chicken, and then would have won the Navy. Of course, all this air from Napalm is a little too overwhelming. This entire game, it really kept this team in the game. So hopefully people enjoy this one.